What is going on, YouTube? Chris with Journals, Comments, and Pop Culture. Alright, guys, I'm getting into it. Miles Morales, Ultimate Fallout number 4. So, many of you who watch my channel know that, man, I keep it so positive. I'm all about unity. I'm all about positivity. I'm all about bringing people together for this hobby. But I'm going to warn everyone right now, tonight, I could care less. Because what is going on with this book is ridiculous. And not in the way that some of you may think. But let me dive into this. Obviously, Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales, is just hotter than lava right now. I mean, we had the announcement of production of Into the Spider-Verse 2 and the Sony Miles Morales Spider-Man video game all in a matter of a week. This book is jumping hot. I mean, a year ago you could buy a high grade for 100. Right now, probably a raw high grade, maybe like a 9.4 for $100. Right now, you're probably not going to get a raw 9.4 for under 300, maybe $400. 9.6 gradeds are selling for 700, 800. 9.8s are going for 1,000 plus. That's what's happened in the last week. It's mad crazy. So we're gonna approach this in two ways. I'm gonna talk about the basics, the numbers, and what that means. But I'm also gonna talk about first and foremost my opinion on people that are mad right now. Let me tell you something. I don't own this book. I don't own this book. And most likely I never will, unless like I win it in a contest or something happens. I will probably never own this book. Do I wish I would have bought this book when you could get it for $5, $10, $20, $50, $80? Absolutely. Hindsight's 2020, right? Who wouldn't? Am I mad about it? Hell no. And if you're mad about it, I got something to tell you. I'm sorry. If I offend anybody, dude, grow up. Grow up. I am seeing way too much stuff. And I'm usually really good at not even allowing this to affect me in any way, or I obviously do not bring it on my channel and make a video about it. But I cannot believe the disgusting negativity that is coming out around this book right now. I am on countless Facebook group pages, comic book group pages, collector forums, and so forth. Thousands and thousands of people in these groups, anywhere from 10,000 to like 100,000 people in these groups. And there are just hundreds, dozens and dozens, and probably over hundreds of people that are just crying like little babies right now. And what it is, what I see is it's people are mad because they don't own the book. You got your I don't understand the hype. You guys are ignorant. You're being sheep. You're ruining the comic book industry because you're being sheep, having to buy this book right now and all this stuff. And literally, I just had a dude posting. I was saying, what's going on with this book right now was basic economics. He was like, really? There's a bunch of these books. And I explained to him. At that point, I thought he was just like having a conversation. I explained to him basically that kind of what I said in my video a couple of days ago. Even if there's a high print run, if people are buying an item or buying a book and they're keeping it, that supply, that issue, that book is no longer part of the supply, right? You dwindle the supply down when you hold on to something, right? It's just like the housing market. If people buy homes and they're living in homes, the supply is only what's available for sale, right? So you don't count books that people are keeping. So it doesn't matter if this was like a 500,000 print run. If there's only a limited supply of books on the market, because the demand is so high right now, the supply is decreasing. And I explained this to him really, really calmly and respectfully and whatnot. He jumped on me. He jumped on me, calling me all kind of names, P word, B word. And I'm like, wow, dude, like, grow up? Like, seriously, grow up. This is a grown man. And I don't know what crawled up your pants other than the fact that you don't own this book and you mad. You are mad. Oh my God. So it brings out the Oni in me. Yeah, that's my saying. If you don't know what I mean by that, you can DM me. Man, dude, it's so ridiculous right now. If you don't own this book and you're mad, you want to make some excuses. about why it's stupid that this book is selling for so much right now, please grow up. I'm sorry. Now, if you have negative thoughts towards it and you can listen to what I'm saying and at least try to call out your own shortcomings and be like, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm a grown man or woman and I can look at this and be like, okay, you know what? Shoot, I'm bummed out, but I'm not going to allow myself to be a child about this kind of stuff. I mean, it's crazy, guys. And here's my positive talking point, because obviously you may see this as me just ranting about, going off trying to be a big badass, whatever. But it's just disgusting to me. This behavior is disgusting, and it has no place. It has no place in this hobby, in this community, and this is from grown men. Like, it'd be one thing if these were like 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are like, man, I don't have the book, and screw you for trying to sell it for 500. They don't know the hobby, whatever. Maybe, I mean, come on. They're adolescent kids. We can assume this type of behavior, and we as adults should be the ones kind of guiding them. That's okay, son. But let me tell you how the comic book industry works, right? But no, we got middle-aged grown men getting their panties in a bunch on some nonsense, dude. Why are you mad? Because you never bought the book when it was $5, $10, $50. Now let me explain something. Let me go off topic here of my frustration about these people. Let's just talk about the book itself. This is my perspective. Obviously I've studied. I'm a businessman and I have a business degree. And I state that humbly to state that I have experience in the field, and I'm bringing that experience to address this topic. Okay? Not that I'm not bringing it up to say that I know everything, but let me bring up what I know, and this is why I know it. I do feel that this is a bubble right now. And I'm not bringing up numbers with you guys or anything like that right now. We're just going off top, but this is a bubble. But it's a very interesting bubble. Because, and I said this funny thing, if you go back and watch my videos, before any of this hype, I've said multiple times that you know what I did for those that watched the Comic Book Canada show with me and my co-host Jeff. I think it was on our very first show. It might have been the second show. This was over a month ago now. I said Ultimate Fallout #4 is one of those modern books that's gonna just exceed expectations. And I brought up the fact that there's this guy. I don't know if he was a YouTuber or I saw him on Instagram, but this dude had a long box, almost completely filled with Ultimate Fallout 4s. Like, it was probably 3/4 full, a long box. He had to have at least like over 200 issues of this book. And I said then, over a month ago, this guy's going to be able to retire off this book. You think about it right now, if he has 200 books and they're all in mint condition and they're selling it $1,000 a piece, that's 200,000 G's, man. That's $200,000 right there. Back to my point. I called this book before even the hype, but right now with the hype, I do believe it's a bubble. But here's the thing about this bubble. This bubble is going to do this in terms of the value. The bubble's going to kind of pop a little, but then the bubble's going to come back. This character is not going anywhere. This character is not going anywhere because once the video game comes out, which is in what, maybe like 5 months from now, it's gonna bubble up again, right? Then it might go down a little, but then you know what's gonna happen then? More announcement about Into the Spider-Verse 2. You're gonna have the preview, and leading up to the release of that film, the bubble's gonna go back up. That's gonna drop off. And we got so much going on with this character, and I guarantee I don't think they're gonna rush into it. I think the MCU is really playing out Peter Parker, and they're gonna play up Peter Parker for a good at least 5-6 more years before we might even see a Miles Morales in the MCU. I think Sony handling the End of the Spider-Verse is where it's at right now. But I do feel in anywhere from maybe like 7 to 10 years, Miles Morales is going to show up in the MCU. Okay? Probably when Tom Holland's in his 30s, and they can play an old Spider-Man tending to this new young kid, right? This character is not going anywhere. This is the character of this new generation, of this next generation. And the bubble's gonna go down and go up and go down and go up. But ultimately, this book is gonna keep going up in price, and we're gonna really call it in 10 to 20 years. Now, here's another thing about supply and demand. One thing with modern books, even if there's a high demand that that limits supply because people are holding on to books, say the market starts hurting, right? Say not even the comic book market, but just say the job market, say the economy itself starts hurting, and you have a lot of people that were hoarding their copies of this book. If people decide to start selling this, that can really dip the value of this book down kind of more quickly than say like a Hulk 181, right? Because not only do people hoard the books and hold on to the books, but we know that a Hulk 181 came from a time where people didn't take the best care of their book. There's a substantially less amount of especially high grade Hulk 181s than there is Ultimate Fallout 4s. So my point is, if people start selling their collection, um, if they're letting go all of their Hulk 181s, that can drop the value of a Hulk 181, but not by a lot. If everyone decides in like 2 years, everyone that's like hopping on the hype right now and buying up, if we get hit with like a next Great Depression or recession, and it really pushes people to sell out all their comic books, then that's where the bubble of the value of this Ultimate Fallout 4 book could really take a hit. But I mean, the chances of something extreme like that happening are really rare, because even during the last recession, I don't think overall the comic book industry was affected that much. You think of things like the stock market, the housing market, and so forth. We're in a league of our own here when it comes to comic books. So when it comes to the numbers, guys, this book is not going anywhere. Seriously. Maybe in a couple months, those $1,000 9.8s won't be able to sell for $1,000 anymore. Maybe they'll go down to like 800, 850 or something for a couple months. But like I said, once the release of the game happens, it's going to go up again. It's going to be a ebb and flow of this, while long term steadily, slowly increasing, man. So let's get back to me just shaking my head at like all the talk right now. It's like, guys, and I'm going to say this to my viewers that might have kind of a chip on their shoulder about and a bad taste in their mouth about what this book's doing. Guys, it's simple supply and demand, right? If people, this isn't a situation where people are getting fooled. This isn't a situation where you have people like being cryptic in their eBay listings about if a book is a reprint, like the ASM 129s, and they're not really listing reprint and they're selling for, $300, $400. That's wrong. That's ethically wrong, and people are getting duped. It's not the case here. What happened here is people started buying this book, and they started bidding on this book, and bidding wars happened, and it drove the price up. The market organically drove the price of this book up that quick. If people are willing to pay it, let them pay it. If you don't have the book, I'm sorry. I'm happy. I wish, God, I'm like, man, I so wish I had at least one copy of this book. Why? I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and although Miles isn't Peter, why didn't I ever buy this book? Like, psh. But am I gonna come on here and rage and like be like, you know what? It's like, it's this kind of stuff that's ruining the hobby. That book is nowhere near worth $500, $600, $1,000. You guys are stupid. You guys are sheep. Dude, now I could sit and explain the numbers like I said. That book that you just bought for $1,000 might only be worth $800 in a couple months. But I'm going to put my honest opinion out there as a businessman, not as a comic book collector, as a businessman, and say, though, hey, even those people that are buying slab 9.8s for $1,000, I think it's a sound investment. I do. I think it's a sound investment if you're looking long term. I think 10 years from now, that value is going to hold and it's going to climb. I do. Now, if you're looking to flip, it's probably past that point. If you're just looking to flip and you're mad because you didn't get the book, and like if you bought it today and you try to sell it tomorrow, you're not gonna get too much money off of it because it's already so high at a peak. That's your fault, bro. Like, you know, like you're gonna be mad about it. Come on, man. So as a collector, if you're mad about it, as a flipper, speculator, if you're mad about it, yo, man, dude, pull your bootstraps up and man the hell up, man. These are comic books, dude. Like, go outside and breathe and be thankful that you have what you have right now. Like first world problems, dude. Are you kidding me? We're living in a global pandemic. You know, we got people getting shot down by police. You know, we got just crazy things happening in the world right now. We got protests worldwide. You know, we got poverty and hunger. We got just the extreme polarized political spectrum that's going on in the world right now. Be thankful for what you have and not worry about the fact that you're butthurt because you don't own a comic book. It just blows my mind. Man, blows my mind. So that's my advice, guys. Don't allow yourself to stoop to a level of childish ignorance. And, you know, especially, and look, the thing I tell people, do you have kids? And what would your kids think about what you're saying or the way that you're acting? How would we want to raise our kids? And maybe some people that just goes over their heads because they don't even really care. They justify this type of behavior. So, you know what? This is what I'm happy for right now, and I'm going to try to wrap this video up. I am so happy. I am so happy for that younger generation that went out and bought Miles Morales books and Ultimate Fallout number 4s because they were in love with this new character. And now they have a book that's worth $500 to $1,000. Right? Just like those young kids growing up in the 60s, seeing that first image of Spider-Man swinging from roof to roof. And now they have a $10,000 to $100,000 book, just depending on the condition they kept it in. The kids of the 70s that saw that new character in yellow and blue with those claws out fighting the Hulk, that grabbed that story off the shelf because they fell in love with that character. And now they have a book that's worth a few thousand, $10,000, depending the condition it's in. I'm happy for those kids in the 80s and the early 90s that saw this cool new character in this red and black outfit that was a badass named Deadpool. And they bought it for $1.25 off the shelf. And now they have a book that's worth, you know, $400 to $700. I am happy for everyone that paid $2.99 or $3.99 cover price for this book that now has a $500 to $1,000 book in their hands. And I'm happy for all the LCS owners that had a stash of these books that can now widen their profit margin because LCSs are hurting right now. That's what I'm happy for. And I'm happy for those people that have the exposable income to be able to afford this book at this price point and to still be okay with spending that much money and saying, I am a proud owner of this book. I am happy for each and every one of them. And you should be too. So, with that being said, that's my video today, guys. Again, I know it may have been rough, but at the end of the day, it was a positive message. And I hope you guys took that from it. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave some comments. Be nice to each other. Bootstraps. Till next time.